Wow!
For every bit of modern science fiction one can credit to the influence of Gene Roddenberry or George Lucas, equal credit has to go to Jerry and Sylvia Anderson. The husband and wife producing team gave television sci-fi some of the most interesting and complex stories of all time. They don't get the credit they deserve because most of their great works involved puppets. The apex of their partnership, however, had a cast of hundreds and sets and special effects rivaling anything Star Trek ever produced. That series is the short-lived but wholly fascinating Space, 1999. British Jerry and Sylvia Anderson pioneered the Supermarionation technique, a gimmick of marionette performance that mixed in elaborate and quite large miniature sets and model work. Their shows were staples of British and later American TV in the 60s. Supercar, Fireball XL5, and Stingray were hits for commercial network ITV. The Andersons' biggest hit was Thunderbirds, a series about a family of vigilante pilots and astronauts who rescue victims of various disasters. This show was massive for a series using puppets and miniatures and became an icon. This led to more puppet shows, of which Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons is my personal favorite. But after a few more puppet series, Jerry Anderson wanted to branch out into live action. His first fully live-action series was 1971's UFO, which for all the world could have been another Supermarionation show, just with human actors instead of puppets. Finally, in 1975, Jerry and Sylvia got to make Space, 1999, the most expensive series ever on television to that point. The British-Italian co-production got big American stars Martin Landau and Barbara Bain, and their idea was a series that mixed Star Trek with more ethereal storytelling, not unlike 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a remarkable, if dated, vision of the future, our old future anyway, but it's a series very much of two halves. Year 1 set up the predicament. In 1999, a base on the moon, Moonbase Alpha, has a changeover of power. The former commander is replaced with Commander John Koenig, Landau, a decorated officer who nevertheless needs a win. The moon base has around 300 crew members, and one of their tasks is to dispose of nuclear waste from Earth. In the first episode, an accident occurs and the nuclear waste explodes, causing the entire moon to break away from Earth's gravity and careen through space, farther and farther away from home. The people on the moon base, the Alphans, then have to try to stay alive and somehow get back home. As the moon speeds through space, with only small mission ships called Eagles for reconnaissance, the Alphans run across all forms of sentient and non-sentient life forms and phenomena. It's a weird conceit, surely, but one that works for the strange, out-there storytelling at hand. Koenig's main crew consists of head physician Dr. Helena Russell, Bain, Chief Science Officer Professor Victor Bergman, Barry Morse, Chief Pilot Alan Carter, Nick Tate, Second in Command Paul Morrow, Prentice Hancock, Computer Ops Officer David Cano, Clifton Jones, and Data Analyst Sandra Benes, Xenia Merton. If the characters all sound very technical, that's for a reason. The plots of the episodes were all very scientific and theoretical. Some of the first season's best episodes deal directly with strange occurrences and how they affect the crew. The episodes Collision Course and Black Sun, for example, each deal with the moon heading for certain doom, unable to control their course in the least. Black Sun is specifically interesting because it has the moon fly through a dark star, which zaps the base's energy and sets the crew up to freeze to death. It's a slow episode, but one that speaks to the dangers of space and how humanity deals with certain doom. Other standout episodes of Season 1 feature run-ins with strange alien creatures and races. Force of Life sees nuclear technician Zorov, a very young Ian McShane in a guest role, invaded by an alien entity that sucks up vast amounts of energy, causing him to become a kind of energy vampire. War Games finds the Alphans attacked by a society from a planet that sees the moon as an invading virus with no right to exist. The series' best episode, Dragon's Domain, finds a hero pilot, Italian guest actor Johnny Garco, again facing nightmares of a hostile alien that killed all the members of his crew years ago. No one believed him at the time, but now he has a chance to get revenge or destroy Moonbase Alpha trying. With the budget it had for special effects, costumes, and sets, Space 1999 also had a roster of impressive guest actors. In addition to McShane and Garko, Season 1 also featured Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Richard Johnson, Catherine Schell, Julian Glover, Leo McKern, and Joan Collins. Season 1 is a fascinating and thoroughly enjoyable 24 episodes. The trouble is, the show was too expensive, and it was cancelled. For a bit, anyway. Eventually, ITV head and huge Jerry Anderson fan, Lou Grade gave the show a last-minute stay of execution, but some changes had to happen. In the interim, Jerry and Sylvia Anderson's marriage and producing partnership dissolved. Jerry alone would produce year 2, along with a new showrunner, American producer Fred Freiberger. Freiberger is infamous in sci-fi TV circles. He's the producer brought in to save Star Trek for its third, final, and silliest season.